Hey, everybody, welcome to the Achieve Your Apex podcast. And it's a milestone podcast episode. That's right, number 10. We made double digits. We're very excited here at the Achieve Your Apex podcast. And we're glad that you're here joining us along the way. Look, we are going through my best-selling book, Achieve Your Apex. If you haven't gotten a copy of it, hit up Amazon or go to achieveyourapex.com. If you want to get a hold of me, you can also go to achieveyourapex.com. You'll end up on my website where you can then connect with Chad, or you can find me on Facebook or other social media platforms if you are looking for me. If you have any questions, any things you want me to specifically address. During the Achieve Your Apex podcast so far, we've talked about environment, we've talked about strengths and weaknesses, and now we're talking about goal setting. Now, in the next chapter, we're going to get into that plan. I talked about that we need a plan to go with the goal. We're going to talk about that in the next chapter. I'm also going to be introducing some interview episodes in here where I'm going to bring on some people you might know, you might not know, yet they're going to share with you the answer to the simple question, what's one thing everybody should know that they should do to help achieve their apex? And we're going to get short episodes with some great names. So if you know someone who should be on this episode, interview episodes, reach out to me, let me know. All right, it's a little chilly here. I'm wearing the hoodie. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a lightweight hoodie. Don't worry about it. If you're listening to the podcast, please know you can watch the podcast as well if you want to on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Chad Hyams. Now, let's get to one of my favorite things to talk about when it comes to goal setting, and that is time. No. Not how much time it takes or how much time we should commit to it. The acronym, time. You see, there's an acronym many of us have heard out there for a long time called SMART. And I, for a long time, would go around the country speaking at events, having training moments, and I would ask people to tell me what SMART stood for, and nobody could. Nobody would get the acronym correct. So I said, you know what? That's it. Time for that acronym to go. We need a new acronym that we can remember. So folks, when you're setting a goal, I want you to remember time. Take notes, write this down. I'm going to be bringing this one up again and again and again to you because time truly matters. And that should be pretty easy to remember because time does truly matter. All right, the T, that stands for a timeline. So this is going to help you. If you can just remember the T and remember timeline is first, then you're going to remember time was your acronym. Okay, timeline. What do I mean by that? If I say I'm going to sell X widgets or I'm going to sell X widgets in 2 months, it's a very different sentence. If I say I'm going to lose 10 pounds or I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 6 weeks, very different sentences. And if you do not define the timeline that your goals fall under, they're just dreams still. They're going to also help you shape the plan that you're going to take. If I use the example that I used a few episodes ago of driving across the country, if I wanted to drive from Atlanta, Georgia to Washington State and go up to Bellingham, Washington, and I've done that drive a few times as I've moved back and forth across the country, look, I could say I want to do it in a month. I could say I want to do it in a week. I could say I want to do it in 3 days. I've done it in 2. That's right. We stopped only one night and drove straight through. I want you to understand it changes the plan that goes with the goal. Because if I want to do it in 2.5, 3 days like I did, I knew I had to be able to drive all night, which meant I needed different supplies in the car because I wasn't going to stop as often. It meant I could just push straight through. I didn't need to worry about hotels or anything like that along the way. When I said I wanted to take a week to make the trip happen, I had to plan out where was I going to stop that made logical sense so I wasn't driving 12 hours one day and 2 hours another day. The plan changes once the timeline is attached to it. So I want you to remember the first thing you need to do with any goal setting is timeline. Okay. The I, this is crucial. The I is one of the things people forget when they're creating a goal. It must be important to you. That's right, not to me, to you. If the goal doesn't matter to you, you'll never achieve it. I don't know how many times somebody has said to me, hey, Chad, how about you do this? I'm like, okay, it wasn't important to me. So since it wasn't important to me, it never became a true goal of mine. People can say to me all the time, yeah, I would like to run long distance. I like to run my Spartan races. Someone can come up to me and say, hey, Chad, why don't you run an ultra marathon? It's not important to me. So it will never become a true goal of mine. And the plan will never come to fruition, even if I planned it out, because it's not important to me. So we have to remember, and I will share with you a story in the next episode about something that was so important to me when it came to goal setting. And I show you how time played into this. Okay, that it puts us in a position of understanding we are only going to do the things that truly matter to us. So when someone gives you a goal, if you can't figure out what you can do to make it important to you, it's never going to be achieved. I'm just telling you that now. Okay, the M in time stands for measurable. You can't have a goal you can't measure. You've got to have a goal that can be measured. This makes something, I want to be happier. How do you measure that? All right, that becomes a wishy-washy type of goal. I want to have a stronger marriage. Okay, now figure out how to measure that. Well, we go on date nights X amount of times. We do this, we do that. Okay, now you figured out a way to measure, and the goal is going to be lots of little things along that way to help make that path become a reality. I want to lose X pounds. You can't just say, I want to lose weight. You could lose half a pound and say, I did it. You want to say, I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, sell X number of widgets, spend X number of time with my kids, whatever that's going to be. It has to be measurable. And the E stands for effort. Because if you don't have to put effort in, it's not a true goal. If you can just sit on the sofa and achieve it, congratulations to you. That's not a goal to set. Goals challenge us. I will say this many episodes. I will say this many times when we are talking about goals. I don't truly believe you should ever achieve a goal. Oh, hold on. Don't get all excited here. I will show you why you should achieve certain things along a path to a goal in a future episode when we get to that section of the book. Yet I want you to understand goals are not meant to be achieved. Goals are meant to challenge and stretch you to being a better person. Because when you achieve a goal, all everybody is going to say, and you're going to say, is, I probably could have done more. Because we know from all the research that we've only put in X percentage of our ultimate ability. So goals need effort, which means we've worked towards them. If you could go out and run a mile today, don't set a goal to run a mile. Now, if you can only run that mile in 12 minutes and you're going to set a goal to run it in 8, okay, now you're going to have to put effort in to get faster and better. If you can sell X widgets and your goal is just to hit that number again this year, that's not a goal, because no effort's going to have to be put into it because you've already been able to do it. You're just going to repeat what you did and you'll probably end up in the exact same place. I want you to remember the acronym TIME. A timeline, it must be important to you. It must be measurable, and you have to put in some effort. I will show you how time plays into one of my goals when I get to that story in the Achieve Your Apex book. So stick with me on all these episodes that come to you once a week to help you learn the lessons that are in the book even deeper. You want to reach out to me? Again, visit chadhyams.com or achieveyourapex.com. You'll end up in the same place to connect with me. Until our next episode, as always, keep climbing.